everyone, and a very happy Friday to you all. My name's Declan. I will be covering this week's episode of Alpha Leaks again. Unfortunately, Alex can't be with us. He's still trapped in my basement from the week before. There wasn't enough social media pressure to justify his return. So I'll be covering this week, and who knows what will happen next week. But we don't have as many updates this week, but there are a few things that I would like to kick off with. So first up, always a good thing, a new listing. The Aurora USDT spot trading pair is now available on Biconomy. We're always looking at how we can make the token more accessible with new listings and exchanges. Although, of course, if you're like me, many of you are probably just using near intents for all of your swaps and trading needs. Now, a couple of other bits that I would like to go through this week. We've actually got an update about one of my favorite topics, me. Now, jokes aside, we attended Zebu Live this week. It was actually a great event. There was a lot of really interesting projects that attended. And I was fortunate enough to talk on a panel that covered a range of topics like near intents, AI agents, and of course, the core focus of Aurora and the multi-chain technology that we've been developing over the past year. Now, it was actually quite an interesting panel because the topic itself was focused around scalability, but I may have slightly derailed it by trying to get some consensus on what we actually mean by scalability today. Because I think gone are the days where, throughput or block time and transaction finality matter. Near is already 600 times faster than Ethereum, right? It's more than sufficient for all of the needs that we have, even payments, which has typically been one of the hardest things to do. For me, scalability is much more focused around user experience and how easy it is for users to be able to interact with the products that you're offering. And I think what we've built this year shines in that regard, right? We've got the virtual chains, which you don't need any code to deploy, along with all of the marketplace partners that live within it. We've got near intents, of course, which has just boasted the last month of more than $1 billion in volume alone. And of course, most recently, we have Calyx. And I touched upon this last week, but I want to stress it again. For the first time, we had a project which was invested in by 11 different networks. And that was only possible because what we're building now and what we're focusing on is providing an experience that doesn't require you to use a specific wallet. It doesn't silo you into using a specific token. It allows you to use whatever you want, wherever your assets are invested, in real time and seamlessly. And Zebu was a great opportunity to be able to really showcase that. And it was great to see the interest, not just from the audience, but for other projects and even projects on the panel. Midnight is a great example of this. They're looking to work with loads of different networks. They're not looking to build in silos. And I think what we're starting to see is kind of a shift in the market where projects and founders are realizing that being able to reach as many projects as possible and being able to reach a greater audience as possible is more important than which network you sign up and operate with. So yeah, loads of people attended. It was a fantastic conference. And if you'd like to hear more about the panel and what we were talking about, I do suggest kind of taking a look. Aurora posted it on the Twitter feed, I think. And it's also available on the overall Zebu Live main stage events as well. Now, moving on from that, we also have an update from behind the stack, and that was our marketplace partner, Audit One. So Audit One's another partner that we've added for our Aurora Cloud Marketplace. Not only does Audit One provide you access to leading kind of audits, but they're also offering a 15% discount up to, I think, $2,000. But beyond, obviously, the amazing commercial benefits that virtual chain projects will get now that this is on the marketplace, they actually go into much more detail about how they work with projects, what would be involved. So I do highly recommend watching this week's episode to get that deeper dive. Now, continuing on the topic of Audit One, we've actually announced another bug bounty program. So if you remember last week, I talked about the £100,000 bug bounty program with Hacken. Well, we've matched that with Audit One. So hopefully this really demonstrates to the community how serious, we take the security and safety of products like Calyx, with simplicity and, providing that multi-chain component. It's never been more important to ensure that you're secure. So if you'd like the opportunity to earn, so, as part of that 100,000, take a look, see what you can find, and help us keep Calix as secure as possible. Moving on from there, we have Tradable. So this is a pretty interesting one. Many of you know we launched an incubator program, The Block, earlier this year. We had 5 projects that went through the program, and one of them was Tradable. And Tradable have actually just launched their own new hackathon. But what's interesting about this one is that builders can try and create their own trading bots using no code. They're paying $1,500 for the best trading bot that's created. You don't need to be a developer to take part. So I definitely recommend kind of taking a look and seeing if it's something that you might be able to contribute to. Now, moving on to the next segment, I always enjoy this one. So I get to pick the top 3 winners for this week's meme contest. I think a few of you have seen me a couple of weeks now. I've done a few of these, so you probably have an idea of the kind of things I find funny in my own geeky way. So I haven't seen these yet. I'm going to go through them now and pick the top 3 winners. So what do we have? We have, okay, yeah. I know Alex will like that one. I'll send it down to the basement. What else have we got? Okay. Okay, this is a great kids film, by the way. If you have kids, I highly recommend watching it. Make sure you're not emotional, though, because it's a bit of a tearjerker. I like that one. Okay, what else have we got? Was it one or a cloud? Me telling them. Okay, so I can say this one's going to win. At least this is going to be one of the winners, just because that's definitely up my alley for my sense of humor. What else do we have? Yeah, 50% of all services. Okay. Oh yeah, Alex, you'll like that one. Okay, so yeah, let's pick our winners then. So yeah, this one's definitely winning one of the prizes. I'm going to give another prize here. So who's this person? Yeah, Zane, you've won that. And yeah, the last one I'm going to give to Slade. So congratulations on our 3 winners. Keep them coming. I always enjoy doing this particular segment. So I think that's everything in terms of the Twitter updates. But before we kind of call it a day, there are a couple of other bits that I wanted to touch upon. So I don't have any tweets to share on this because it's real alpha. We've not made it public knowledge yet, but I wanted to share a couple of new partnerships that we're going to be announcing. I guess I am announcing it now, but they'll be visible on our marketplace for our virtual chain owners in the coming couple of weeks. So first up, we have Supra. So for those that don't know, Supra is an L1 that's focused on automated DeFi or AutoFi, as they call it. They're actually looking to make their oracles and VRFs available for Aurora virtual chains. So you'll be able to see and access and integrate with Supra as soon as it goes live in the marketplace shortly. In addition to that, Gateway FM. So again, Gateway FM, it's a pretty well-known roll-up as a service provider. They're going to be offering indexing, oracles, and a bunch of other various tooling solutions within our marketplace of virtual chains. So, we have Calix now, which allows you to launch your token and pull investment from a dozen chains. We've got the virtual blockchains themselves, where we're adding numerous new partners to, almost on a weekly basis. And of course, Near Intent, which allows you to instantly swap and trade. So yeah, keep an eye out. There's a lot more partnerships on the way. The team are working really hard, and there's some really interesting products as well that we're developing right now, which we'll be able to share more about in the coming weeks. And what we're doing now is going to significantly enhance the existing strong product stack that we've got. So it's never really been a better time, to be in the ecosystem. And I know that Alex, the team, and myself are really excited in what we've got in store for Q4. So yeah, that is all of the updates on my side. What I'm going to do now is have a quick look at the comments and see if we have anything. Let's have a look. Okay. Non-life taker. So this song officially means Alex. Exactly. I'm glad that someone's picked up on that. Thank you. Fox Raymond. Declan is my best friend. Thank you, Fox. Thank you. Alex is grounded. Yes, he is. Although somehow he always finds a way to comment, and I'm sure I'm going to see him somewhere in these comments. Yeah, there he is. Okay. What else have we got here? Yeah, so we have a question from OK Galileo. By the way, this is a cool listing. Are there any other listings planned anywhere? So yeah, I mean, look, we're always looking at how we can increase accessibility and reach, for Aurora, and of course, listings is an effective way to do that. So all obviously I can't really announce anything in advance. It's just not how it works. But keep an eye out. It is something that we're constantly, looking at and keeping aware of. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to skip Alex's questions. What have we got? So Fox, yes, good panel. Some guy was shilling Midnight Protocol, but nobody listened. Everybody was just shocked by Near Intense. I mean, look, some of the stuff Midnight's doing is actually quite interesting. But yeah, on the Near Intense side, what's becoming really apparent is just how valuable and how popular Near Intense is becoming. So the volume numbers speak for themselves, and they do a great job in posting all over Twitter, so you can see those numbers for yourself. But to be honest, the people that I speak to and the projects that I speak to, what they like most about Near Intense is the fact that we're not operating in a way that other projects do. It's just about making it accessible and easy for users, and it has users at the heart of everything that's being done. And it's not just a way to swap. Calyx is literally living proof of this, right? It's something you can physically build on. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more products that are going to be building on top of Intense. There's announcements coming out all the time. And, even at Zebu, there were projects coming over and saying, hey, we could do this, we could do that. And that's a really, really interesting place to be in, especially at a time where, projects are in many cases struggling to find things like funding to get the experience and the expertise to build the infrastructure. So yeah, I think it's a fair statement. The people are quite shocked about Near Intense, and there's still plenty of people that don't know about it. But it's becoming much more well-known and much more quickly. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any other questions? Let's have a look. Okay, Anton Babenko. What was the most memorable thing I received at the latest offline conference? I can tell you, I don't know if it was something I was given, but at Zebu Live, they had Nigel Farage speaking on the Tuesday. I don't know if anyone on the call knows who he is, but he's a controversial politician in the UK. And I was walking through the gates, and the security had been massively increased. And I had a Red Bull in my hands. Most people who know me know I always have one. And the guard comes over and goes, "Drink it." So I start drinking it. I'm like, okay, this is a bit weird, fine. And I make a little joke, I have a sip, and I'm like, yeah, it didn't go down very well. Got quite told off for that. But no, Zebu weren't giving out huge amounts of swag. It's not that kind of conference. Token 2049 in Singapore, though, it's a good job I took a big suitcase, because I brought quite a few bits of swag back there. A lot of it actually was some of the Aurora swag. I tried to collect T-shirts to all the events that I go to. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any more questions? Okay, Alex has answered that one. Okay, so I think that is all of the main questions, other than Alex asking questions. What is better than Ledger? Yeah, that is everything. Okay, well, guys, thanks for listening in. Have a great weekend, and who knows who will be presenting next week? Maybe Alex will be back, maybe he won't. But I'll leave that one for next week. Take care. Bye.